Hello, I'm Julian Rawl, Chief Executive of Market Echoes. My first blog of 2016 is Marketing versus Sales, Let Battle Conclude. And I thought I'd start my first blog of 2016 looking backwards as well as forwards. Backwards to an area of management that doesn't seem to have changed in decades. That's the animosity between marketing and salespeople. I first saw it in the 1980s, then in the 1990s, and in the 2000s, Philip Kotler, the well-known American academic, produced a paper in Harvard Business Review which talked about just this issue. But 10 years later, in 2016, the situation still seems to be exactly the same. When I ask marketing people what they think about salespeople, they're just dismissive. And when I ask salespeople what they think about marketing people, they just roll their eyes. So I thought I'd have a bit of fun and go on to Google. And I typed in, what's the difference between sales and marketing? And got 211 million possible answers. I then typed in, why do salespeople dislike or hate marketing people, or marketing people dislike or hate salespeople? And I got between 1/2 and 3/4 of a million possible answers. No longer the 211 million, but not insignificant nevertheless. So I then started to think about my chats that I have with marketing and salespeople. When I speak to marketing people about salespeople, they often come up with the following commentaries. Salespeople don't stick to the brand plan or even understand the brand. Salespeople don't get a real feeling for the overall marketing mix and tend to stick very closely to, obviously, the sales function. Salespeople, when they conduct market research, tend to do it through anecdote rather than science. And finally, while salespeople's job is of course to sell, they rarely have an understanding of where their sales leads or prospects actually come from. Then I speak to salespeople and I say, what do you think about marketing people? And they come up with the following commentary. They get fed up with the non-stop brand and presentational guidelines that they're sent. What's the point? They don't like it when marketing people get involved in pricing, because that often means an increase in the price. They certainly don't think that marketing people should get as big a slice of the promotional budget as they actually get. And last but by no means least, when you ask salespeople about marketing people, they often say, have marketing people ever actually met a customer? Now that took me back to the sort of whole development of these issues. And I went back to the Philip Kotler article of 2006 in which he talks about the development of the marketing function in an organization. When a company starts, it's fairly small. There'll be a sales function, but there won't be a marketing function. And market development ideas and so on are developed collaboratively. But then the company grows and the sales function needs support. So they take on a marketing assistant, often called the marketing manager. That person's job is to develop leads, look after the website, social media, and collateral. But as that area becomes more sophisticated, so the marketing manager starts to get interested in segmentation, insight, sentiment, the brand, and a more holistic use of the marketing mix. Suddenly, marketing becomes more important, sales becomes less important, and marketing wants a bigger slice of the promotional budget. Thus begins the folklore, sales versus marketing. So, what do we do about it? Well, one thing, of course, is just to let the status quo continue. And I'll come back in 10 years with another blog on the same subject. Or we can try and see some real cultural change. So here are my 5 points to bring goodwill, bonhomie, and hopefully prosperity to your organization. Number 1, it's the customer that counts. Success with the customer is not the preserve of marketing or sales. It's all about the customer journey. And as the people who get involved with the customer at an early stage, sales and marketing need to work together to really develop an understanding of the end-to-end customer journey. Number 2, if they're going to work together, they need to plot that customer journey together. Not just simply at the early parts of the sales funnel, but all the way through from prospect to sales to delivery to satisfaction. Number 3, if we start to get into these situations, then we need to change the accountability factors within organizations. If you think about it, when the sale is actually made, developed by sales or marketing, it's on the basis of a promise. If the promise is a good one and the customer is satisfied, everyone's happy. If it's a bad one and the customer is dissatisfied, then no one's happy. But by this time, it's got nothing to do with sales or marketing. Delivery and customer interaction tends to be the preserve of, for example, in retail, the trading function. So sales and marketing tend to be unaccountable for the end parts of the customer journey. This needs to change. We need to add to metrics such as profile building and sales per quarter, satisfied customers and repeat customers. And sales and marketing need to take their part in this accountability. Number 4, marketing research needs to be integrated. We tend to see marketing involved in marketing research, sales rarely involved, and often it's the preserve of the research department. This needs to change. If sales and marketing are the representatives of the customers, which I believe they should be, then they should be driving the research agenda and really looking for the insights which add value to company and customer. And number 5, it needs to be driven from the top. Senior people, sales directors, marketing directors need to drive this, otherwise years of cultural animosity will continue. Sales directors need to sit in on the marketing development meetings and vice versa. So, if we bring all this together, we now have a much more integrated sales and marketing function. And the sales and marketing people really become an integrated representative of the customer. And this could change board composition. Research shows us that here in the UK, less than 10% of our FTSE 100 companies have a representative of the customer on their board, and they spend 7 times as much time talking about cash flow as customer. Now this can't be right, but perhaps it's the result of the division between these two important functions. Divided and separated, they don't have strategic influence, but together they might well do. So, what do you think about this? What's your experience? And what do you think of a time in the future when perhaps the sales function and the marketing function will be replaced by the customer function? At Market Echoes, one of our service areas is the win-win of sales, where every sale is a win for the company and for the customer. If you'd like to find out more about it, please get in touch. We'd love to talk to you.